Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about auto insurance. Now, what you're looking at right now is a whole bunch of definitions that you're going to need to know. Now, I'm not going to spend I'm not going to spend any time going over them, but as I'm going through this video, I might come back to them. So if you just kind of want to see what all these definitions or things that you're going to need to know, here they are. And of course, you can always pause the video and just write them down and get your definitions on your own. All right, let's get started. Question number one. Quan's annual premium is $1,284. If he pays quarterly, there's a $1 per payment surcharge. All right, let's talk about this. Okay, so what we have is an annual premium. This is how much it costs for his insurance, his car insurance throughout the year. So $1,284 is what he's going to pay throughout the entire year. Now, a lot of insurances you can pay by the month, you can pay by every 6 months, or in this case you can pay quarterly. So if his annual purchase or annual premium is $1,284, if he pays quarterly, what is his quarterly payment? Well, very simply, it's going to be 1,284 divided by 4. Okay, and when you do that, you're going to get $321. Now, if you keep reading, writing with my mouse here, there is a $1 per payment surcharge. Basically, that's just a processing fee. So we tack on $1, and that means his final payment is going to be $322. All right. Stan DeMille has $25,000 worth of property damage. Now, property damage, what this means is whatever you do to someone else's stuff. So property is someone else's stuff, not your own car, something else, okay, that doesn't belong to you. He caused an accident that damaged $2,000. $2,000 fire hydrant, and then $5,600 worth of damage to another car. So add it together, he owes a grand total of $7,600 in property damages. Okay. Now, this $25 or $25,000 property damage liability insurance, what that means is the insurance company will pay all damages as long as it's under 25,000. If it's more than 25,000, then that means Stan will have to pay the difference. But anything that's below 25,000, the insurance company will pay. So how much of the damage must Stan pay? Well, because of the fact that this amount here is less than 25,000, the insurance pays it all, and Stan pays nothing. All right. Peter has a $1,000 deductible collision insurance. Peter looks back to his car, or backs his car into his garage and causes $4,300 worth of damage to his car. How much will his insurance have to pay? Now, deductible collision insurance. Collision means your car. Okay, so going back to the previous one, property means other people's stuff, other people's cars, but collision means your car. Okay, your car, the car that you're driving. Now, what a $1,000 deductible means is that's how much Peter has got to pay first before the insurance kicks in. So he's got to pay that $1,000 first. So that means you have $4,300 in damage to your car. Okay, Peter has got to pay the first 1,000. All right, so that means the insurance will pay the remainder part of it, which is $3,300. So how much will his insurance company have to pay? $3,300. All right, Bob was in an accident caused by his negligence. He has a 100/300 bodily insurance or injury insurance. Okay, stop right there. Okay, 100 represents this. 100 stands for $100,000, and that represents per person. So everybody that's involved in that car accident, the insurance company will pay $100,000 for that person, but not more. The total accident is 300, meaning 300,000, meaning the insurance company will not pay more than $300,000 for that one accident. Okay. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to create a chart here because it says 3 people were injured in the accident, or the 3 people injured in the accident sued. One person was awarded for $140,000. Okay, we can read the rest. Okay. So let's go ahead and make our chart. All right, so here's my chart. So it says one person was awarded $140,000. Now I just labeled them person A, B, and C. So the medical cost was $140,000. Okay. Now based off the insurance or Bob's insurance, it says 100,000 is the max that the insurance will pay. So if someone needs more than 100,000, the insurance will top out at 100,000, which means Bob pays the remainder part, which is $40,000. All right. So the person A is still getting 140,000, but they're just getting 100 grand from the insurance company, and then Bob will have to pay the remainder. Now the other two people, 75,000 each of them paid, or each of them are going to get. I'm sorry. And I just went ahead and put this whole suing thing in the medical cost here. So B needs 75 grand, and that's under 100,000 per person. Remember, so that means the insurance will pay 75 grand to B and C individually, and that means Bob will pay zero for those two guys. So it says, how much does the insurance company pay? Well, the insurance company will pay all of this amount. So 100, that I believe that ends up being 250,000. So 250,000. All right. All right, for example number 5, Desmond has a policy. Oh, here we go. Here's some numbers here. 50, remember that represents 1,000, 50,000 per one person, 150,000 per the entire accident here. BI stands for bodily insurance from the previous question. 50,000 represents PD, which is, or it's property damage. So sometimes that's abbreviated, property damage. And lastly, PIP. That's new here. That's new in this problem. PIP stands for personal injury protection, I believe. I think that last P is protection. What that means is anybody that's in your car, or in this case, anybody that's in Desmond's car, her or anybody of her passengers, is covered under the 50,000 PIP. So he causes an accident which hurts 7 people in the minivan and 4 people of his own car, including himself. The 11 people who are hurt have minor injuries, do not sue Desmond. That's good. So the total medical bill for all involved is 53,000. Now, this 53,000 represents everybody, which would be under the 150,000 BI, because remember, 150,000, that's everybody. So all involved is 53,000. So how much that should be how much do the insurance company pay? It would be all of it, so it would be $53,233. Okay, the last one I want to do is question number 5 here. Craig has a personal injury protection policy that covers each person in, on, around, or under his car for medical expenses. So each person can collect up to $50,000. Craig is involved in an accident. 3 people are hurt. One person has $2,300 of medical expenses. One person has $500 worth of medical expenses. Craig himself has medical. Okay, so how much money must the insurance company pay? So let's create a chart here. Okay, here's my chart for person A, B, and Craig. All right, so person A and B, the medical cost was $23,000, but if you notice up in here, it says each person can collect up to 50 grand. So that means anything below 50,000, insurance pays. Anything greater than 50,000, obviously Bob would have to pay. So 23,000, the insurance company would pay the 23,000, which means Bob pays nothing here, and obviously the same way with the $500. Bob pays nothing. Now, Craig himself has a medical expenses causing 70 grand. Okay. Now, in this problem here, each person can collect up to $50,000. All right. So different insurance, different plan. So Craig himself is a person, and so that means the insurance would pay 50,000 for him. And of course, Bob, I said Bob, and I mean, keep on saying Bob. I'm sorry, that should be Craig. Sorry. I'm sure you were probably yelling at the screen here. So that means Craig would have to pay the additional 20 grand. So after it's all said and done, how much money will the insurance company have to pay for these 3 people? Well, like I said, insurance pays all of this, so all you have to do is just add them up, and it ends up being, I believe, $73,500. There you go. There's insurance. So thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.